at the airplane factory and run a rivet gun and on the wings of the bombers that went overseas. So then when she come back home, she went to work at Maytag. And she worked there for a couple of years. And then Doc started farming. And she became Doc's hired man, but I don't think Doc paid her. And then after she was Doc's hired man, she went to beauty school, and then she run a different beauty shops. She was in partnership with some gal in Guthrie Center. So we need to thank Gaiola too for what she's passed on to Henry and what he's passed on to us. Now Beloise, well, I call her Beloise, Belle. She was a very, very kind person. She gave everybody small gifts on birthdays and Christmas. Matter of fact,
$2 bills.
She gave me some cologne, and I dug it out this morning. I put it on. Did anybody smell me?
Of course.
But I did, and I felt good when I done it. You know, when Spot passed away, Belle wasted several months of her life. She closed the blind and thought the world of him. She finally overcome it, and she started going to dances. She'd drive, which was a blessing, but then it was a blessing in one way, but not another, due to the fact that she went to dances 2 or 3 times a week after dark, and she wasn't a very good driver. And she always welcomed you in her home. And then there's Doc. Doc and Dad and the family made Molasses. Jerry Dhabalt, my brother that lived in Illinois, worked in the Farmo factory. There's a lot of factories in Moline, and they was doing well. We would make all the molasses, bottle it up, loaded it up in a Model A or a Model T, I don't know what, and went to Moline because the money was out there, and Doc and them would peddle it door to door. So that was one piece of our income. Then Doc, he drove the school bus for Melcher Dallas, and that's where he met Artis, and he ended up marrying her. Doc worked in a coal mine. He bought a farm down here on the bottom, and he rode a horse every day to go work in the coal mine.
Wow.
The ground flooded a lot, and the road was blocking like a dam coming down off the hill, and it covered his ground with water all the time. He went to the county for him to put a big culvert in. They wouldn't do it. So he brought some dynamite home from the coal mine, and he blowed the road up. And I don't know, they never did pursue any charges, but they did put in a great big culvert. And then there's Harold. Y'all know Harold. He beat the hell out of me for about 16 years every day. I remember one time, it was 10 below zero, we got in a fight about 7:30 in the morning. He opened the door, pushed me out in my shorts, told me to do 10 laps around the house, run to the front door and locked it. Then he went from window to window and watched me run around the house. I jumped off of a porch one time and landed on a quart fruit jar, jagged glass.
Oh!
I really cut my foot. And I was pretty well, wasn't very mobile. We had a wagon, and my dear little brother Harold pulled me all over town all summer while my foot was healing. we had a paper route together, and the paper bag, I wasn't very tall, and you'd tie 2 or 3 knots in the one over your shoulder to make it shorter. And Harold would always put them papers real nice in that bag and put it over my shoulder. And Thursday was always a big paper, so that was a hell of a load. I actually taught Harold how to drive a car. He come back from the army one time, and there was this tavern in Lacona that the boys in Melcher in high school could buy beer across the bar. We went over there and Harold was on leave and they wouldn't serve him. So I had to buy Harold a beer and give it to him. So there's a lot of good history in these people. We love them all. And you people all have a safe trip back home, and I'll turn it over to Katie.
Thank you, Leonard.